Hey everybody, this is the Piracy Show. And first of all, I'm going to apologize that this episode is late, but I had to go to the dentist this afternoon. Or is it still today? No, it's 12:01 at night when I'm recording this. So it was yesterday. In the middle of the day, I had to go and get a tooth fixed. So here we are, making a late night episode. Originally, I had kind of planned ahead for this, and I had pre-recorded an episode, but I really wasn't happy with it, and I kind of wanted to come back and redo the episode anyways, so here we are. Here I am with a caterpillar, and I'm flying this caterpillar down to our corp. I think it's 157 on Yella, to pick up minerals. I'm just kind of showcasing you quantum in to a certain point, and then from there you fly in on normal propulsion, you go, you pick up cargo, you return it to a place, you sell it. This is a very familiar gameplay loop for a lot of people. But there's another gameplay loop that, strangely enough, is possible relative to this. And in fact, the more I thought about, the rock, I realized that, oh my god, all the components that we need for actual piracy are here. We have everything. CIG has provided us with basically all the facilities that we need for piracy to exist in the Star Citizen universe. Now, let me run an idea past you, because we're looking at the ship descending down to Yella. What if you and a group of your friends decided that you wanted to pirate a cargo ship and steal its cargo that's coming out of, our Corp 141 and heading back to Olisar or wherever to sell its goods? What do you need to happen? One, you're probably not going to want to stack up a lot of crime stats, so you might send one buddy up to, the Comare satellite to shut it down. Alright, so one person gets one crime stat, we can fix that later. Now you have a window of opportunity where your crime won't be reported, and you can pull this off. What else do you need to basically commit piracy? One, you need to have the ability to board vessels. Well, we can crack through doors now. We can shoot doors out with guns. We have rail guns. We have all kinds of equipment to do that, so we can break into a ship. We have weapons that can disable a ship. We have equipment that allows you to prevent a ship from quantuming away. We have basically all the pieces that we need, and now we have a tractor beam in game, something that would allow us to scoop up cargo out of space or out of the cargo hold of another ship if it's been kind of powered down or deactivated or destroyed, and then put it in our own cargo hold. All the pieces that we need, even the terminals that allow us to fence goods at some of the Crusader, kind of truck stop stations, and at Brio's Breaker Yard, Samson and Sons, so on and so forth, Orinth, they all allow you to sell stolen goods. Everything you need to commit space piracy in Star Citizen is in the game, with the possible exception of the tractor beam. Obviously, some adjustments would have to be made there, but every single piece that you need to make this gameplay loop work is in-game and functional. Every single piece. When you really think about it, there are so many doors that are just sitting there somewhat open. We have a multi-tool. Right now, we have two attachments for it. A cutting attachment and a mining attachment. Why don't we make a tractor beam attachment for it? It doesn't have to pick up 1,000 crates. It doesn't have to pick up 50 crates. It may be just 10 at a time, but something that allows you to stand within the cargo hold of a ship and through the open door, aim it at cargo and just kind of bring it in. And in the future, we can have ship mounted ones that have greater range and greater capacity, sure. But the tractor beam doesn't seem like it would be that much of a stretch for them to do at this point. Now, going beyond that, we've had the fencing terminals for over a year. Ever since we've had the little wrecking yards on many of these moons, and one in basically every major location: Arcorp, Crusader, Lorville, what's that planet called again? Hurston, sorry, and Microtech. I believe there's one on Microtech. I haven't really gone and looked, but we have all these places where we can fence goods. There's a couple of space stations that I know of that will let you fence stolen or illegal goods. Bit of a discount, but it will let you do it. Like everything that we need to make piracy work in game is basically in game, is basically there and working. Why don't we have this? I mean, in a weird way, I'm not really creating this video in kind of like an accusatorial kind of way, like, damn you, CIG, you're nerfing pirates and you're not letting us pirate. Rah, 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 rah. No, I'm just saying, like, do you guys realize that basically every component that we need is there? It's all there and ready to go. It's crazy. The more that I was thinking about The Rock, and like I just honestly for like the last 2-3 weeks, I just keep coming back to it, and I'm like, there's something about this. There's something about this that's kind of setting me off. Why do I keep coming back to this? And all of a sudden I realized everything we need for piracy in game is there now. Maybe you don't want us to shoot down other players and steal their cargo. Fine, but at least put some NPC cargo ships out in space. We already have NPC ships that drop cargo. When you have those missions, go retrieve the stolen goods. We have that. We know that when you blow up a player's ship, it will spawn a portion of that cargo in space or on the surface of a planet, wherever you blow it up. Everything that we need to make this work is here. Tractor beams, maybe a little bit of a technical hurdle, but it's there. And it works. Like, all of these are like all the systems that when they've been introduced into the game, basically they've all worked. The only thing that we really haven't gotten to test, well, no, actually we have gotten to test, like the terminals, the selling terminals for illegal goods. We've been able to use those for, about a year now. So everything that you need to make piracy work, including NPC ships, if you don't want players shooting down other players at this moment, it's all there. Why don't we have this? Now, of course, the players who aren't fans of space piracy are probably like, well, I'm glad we don't have this. But take a moment and really think about it. We need to see this gameplay, and we need to see it soon. Not because, gonna get you, but we need to know what the impact is going to be. We got to know, can it be exploited? Can it not be exploited? Is it too much? Is it too little? Is it too dangerous? Is it not dangerous enough? We need to see it kind of manifest itself and take shape so that we can understand, and start to think about, okay, what's an appropriate level of police response? What if they do shut down the Comaray satellite? How long before your emergency signal spawns police ships, or should it not spawn police ships at all? We need to test this. We need to know how this is all going to work within the universe, because like it or not, this is a part of the game, and so it's better to kind of see it take shape in the universe and then start to have informed opinions about what is a reasonable level of risk for non-pirate players and what is a reasonable level of challenge for pirate players. And I think that, the challenge part should obviously be higher for the pirate players, because, I mean, you kind of accept that when you're running around with wanted status or whatnot. You've already kind of accepted that you're going to live a bit of a harder life in Star Citizen, and, some of us are okay with that. It's going to be fun. But we really need to see this living and breathing in the game so that we can start to have informed opinions on it, and we can start saying, well, what if it doesn't work this way? What if it works that way? What if we want to change interdiction? Maybe just a blanket area-wide interdiction isn't a good idea. Maybe it has to be targeted. Maybe it goes on cooldown from time to time. Maybe players have got to only have a burst window when they can actually go in and maybe blow up the quantum drive or damage the engines on the ship so that it can't quantum away. We need to test these things. We need to look at this, and we need to take a good hard look at how this system is going to work. What is the player behavior going to be like? Because it's one thing to kind of idealize what that gameplay is going to be like in your head, but one of the hardest lessons that game developers seem to need to learn again and again and again and again is that what you think player behavior is going to be and what player behavior actually is are often two very different things. A while ago, we used to have a really decent form of pirate gameplay in Jumptown. And a lot of players got involved in it. It was very profitable, and a lot of players were going like, ooh, I want to test this. I want to try this out. And then CIG maybe got a little paranoid about it, how much money the players were making, and they just crushed it into the ground. Our latest round of improvements, quote unquote, for smuggling, which was the delivery missions that we used to have also been crushed into the ground. How, I get that CIG is trying to make a more immersive experience for these missions and whatnot, but how even the idea of what we've got in the game right now, how that even got past the paper stage kind of blows my mind. Anyone should have looked at that reward and said, is this right? It can't be. A multi-stage delivery mission that pays out less credits than the PI wanted mission at Gundo Kovalex? No, that was dumb. But things like Jumptown, things like piracy are things that we need to see in game because we need to balance it and we need to think about it. Remember, we're somewhat in a stage where money counts, potentially. Though there's a huge question mark and a huge kind of air quotes hanging over that. Money counts. None of us are really all that sure about it. But let me ask you this. Even if you hate the idea of in-game piracy, do you want to see CIG implement it before money really counts? Or do you want to see CIG wait until after the money you're making counts and after your cargo is much more valuable to you? Do you want them to actually start testing out and balancing piracy then? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.